call this May 19th Caddo Parish Commission meeting to order. Is there a minister in the house? Is there a minister in the house? Okay, if not, I'm sorry. Dr. Cash, would you please lead us in the invocation?
You will.
And I'd like to ask Brother L.B. Johnson if he would lead us in the pledge. Not now, Doc. At this time, roll call, please, Mr. Clerk.
Dominic, Johnson, Pearson, Lynn, Bowman, Baker, Lynch, Escudero, Thibodeau, Fox, Smith, Epperson. We have a quorum, sir.
Thank you. Okay, Dr. Cash. Will everybody please stand?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for another opportunity to come together collectively to handle the business of the parish. And so today, Lord God, we thank you that wisdom will prevail in the hearts and minds of the people that you have entrusted with sitting at the dais here. And so, Lord God, we thank you, we praise you for the president, that he will be able to handle the meeting in the form that it need to be handled. And so, Lord, we give you all the praise and honor for our great country and for our great state and for our great parish. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. Let's face the flag and lay the right to pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Are there any agenda additions? Okay, no agenda additions. At this time, I would like to inform all citizens in the audience that would like to address the commission on any concern other than a concern that is on the agenda today for public hearing. Please fill out a card in the foyer and get it to me, and I will recognize you at that particular time. Okay, that's it. Now, I do have a substantial amount of cards to speak on the public hearing relative to redistricting. I will not recognize these cards at this time. They will be recognized at the appropriate time when the public hearing comes up for hearing on the redistricting, okay? So now, before I go that further, I'd like to welcome Mr. Charles Kirkham. I hadn't seen him in quite a while. I've asked about you all the time. Good to see you back. Missed you. Okay. Okay, at this time I have 3 cards that are related to related. I have 1 card. Okay. Proclamation? Okay. Okay, so you want to recognize them now? Okay. Okay, all right. Okay, so I don't need this because they are on today. Okay, so I have no cards. The citizens, because everything that is here today is up for public hearing. So at this time, next order, Mr. Clerk.
Next order, we have special resolution. This time we have a proclamation in celebration of National Older American Month to Centurion Miss Leola Baylor. At this time, if you would, your pleasure to read this proclamation, is that correct?
Yeah.
Well, I guess to stay here.
Yeah.
Would you stand, please?
Okay, would Ms. Baylor come forward to the microphone, please?
In the name and by the authority of the Caddo Parish Commission, whereas the Caddo Parish Commission desires to recognize and acknowledge the milestones and special occasions that occur in the lives of those citizens and of the parish who have distinguished themselves through their ongoing demonstration of love and concern for their fellow man, and who in doing so have done much to serve the parish and the larger community. And whereas such a person is Leola B. Baylor, who on May 19, 1909, graced her parents, Mr. Hilton and Miss Annie Belton, and the beautiful state of Louisiana with her presence. Miss Baylor married Mr. Looney Baylor, and they were blessed with 2 loving, beautiful children, Teresa Baylor Mitchell and Alfred Baylor, and many precious grandchildren, 3 of whom reside with her, whereas Miss Baylor has been a resident of Shreveport, Louisiana, and the community of Cedar Grove since 1945, and has dedicated her life to serving God and her family. She has spent her blessed days as a gentle and caring mother and grandmother, devoted and faithful wife, and dedicated treasurer of Electa Chapter Number 10 of the Eastern Star. And whereas Miss Baylor is a loyal member of Springfield Baptist Church, led by Pastor Jimmy Mahoney, and through her dedication to her faith is able to leave her legacy of love for God and touch the hearts of every life she has entered. And whereas May 19, 2011 marks the 102nd anniversary of Miss Leola B. Baylor's birth, it also displays the rewards that stem from years of love and devotion and enables her to be a strong, loving Christian woman she always strives to be. Now therefore be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission this 19th day of May 2011 that it does hereby declare today as Leola B. Baylor Day in Caddo Parish, Louisiana, calling upon all citizens to note this occasion with a sense of appreciation and gratitude for Miss Baylor's dedicated service. Be it further resolved that the Caddo Parish Commission does wish for Miss Baylor much continued success as she continues to magnify the name of the Lord. Signed this day, Kenneth R. Epperson Sr., Glendora Baker. Thank you.
Moved by Commissioner Baker, second by everyone. At this time, on the discussion, Ms. Baker, if you would go down and make your presentation.
On behalf of Caddo Parish Commission District 6 and the City of Shreveport, Caddo Parish, Shreveport, and Louisiana, we'd like to especially give honors to Miss Baylor today for her 102 years of being here. And my God, when I saw her and met her today, I did not know that she was looking this good. And when I walked up to her, she's like, "Hey, baby, how you doing?" "I'm doing real good." I'm like, Lord Jesus, I want to be, if I make it to 102 years old, I would certainly want to look like she looked and have the frame of mind that she has. And in celebration of this month, being the month of May, it's Older America Month, Ms. Baylor, we are indeed pleasure and elated to give you this proclamation today for your time here on the earth. Thank you again for the years that you have served and for the many prayers that you have sent up for many people.
Okay, with Ms. Baylor.
Bless her. She says she's full and she's happy.
Okay, hold up, sir. Any comments from any commissioners? Okay. Ms. Baylor, thank you very much, and we really appreciate all that you've done throughout your years, and it's a blessing to see you down here for us to share with you today on that momentous occasion. It reminds me often when my grandmother raised me while my mom was in college, and she used to be out trying to play ball with me, and she'd say, "Oh, my back hurt" or something. And I said, "Mama, you're always hurting." You know what she told me? She said, "Keep living." Matter of fact, I just had an issue with my knee this week. So we are so glad that you are here to share with us here today, and it's just a blessing, and we thank God for having you and to have you to share with all the life experiences that you've had with us. Okay, next we have Ms. Bowman.
Yeah, I just couldn't sit here and not say congratulations. You just, wow. I cannot believe 102 years old. You really look good. You have truly been blessed, and I just hope you just keep on going just like you are.
Okay, who is that? You got a couple years, you can get to it.
A couple more years, and I'll catch up with you.
At this time, we recognize Tommy and Sharon Patton if they'd like to have a word.
Yes, I'm Sharon Patton, and we've had the privilege of knowing Leola for around 34 years. And not only did she raise her own children and grandchildren, she helped raise our 2 boys. And that has been a privilege for us to know her through the years. Never a birthday or an anniversary. My husband and I have been married going on 38 years now. We've received an anniversary card and a birthday card and a Christmas card from her. She remembers everything, and she has the best mind for a 102-year-old you can believe.
Well, I'm Tommy Patton, and I have just so many stories I could tell you about her, but I know I have to limit it to just 1 or 2. I'll start with the most recent one. Today I came in at lunch and I stopped and got the mail, and today in the mail was a card from Leola. I recently had surgery, and I called her on my way to MD Anderson to ask her to pray for me. And I knew that she did and that she would, and today I got a get well card, and I opened the card and there was a $20 bill. It was the most humbling thing. It's not a first time experience. She's done that many times for us, but my favorite story about her, she kept our youngest son. She started working for us before our youngest son was born, and she came to work every day until he started school, and she never missed a day of work. And one day I came in to take her home. We lived in University Terrace. She was in Cedar Grove, and so she was very, very close to us. And I came in to take her home, and she was reading a story to our boy. And my son was upset that I came in because he knew Leola was fixing to go, and she hadn't finished the story. So she tried to get him not to fuss at me because I was taking her home. And so we went home, and as soon as we got back, the phone rang, and it was Leola. And she says, "Mr. Tommy, can I speak to Scott?" And I said, "Sure, Leola, hold on just a minute." She didn't ever call like that to speak to him. And so Scott got on the phone. She said, "Scott, this is Leola. I brought the book home, and I'll finish reading it to you now."
Okay, we thank you very much, Ms. Leola. Once again, thank you so much, and we thank God for allowing you to still be with us today and share your experiences. At this time, we need to vote on the proclamation, please, Ms. Clerk. Okay, that passes. You're officially in the records, Ms. Leola. Thank you very much. And also, Commissioner Baker, we'll see a DVD will be available.
Yes,
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, next order, Mr. Clerk,
Next we
please.
have communiques and committee reports.
Okay, let's see, we'll go with the administrators report first.
President Epson, Commissioners, I'm providing you today a couple of reports. One is a report from Ms. Bryan on the update of the court. There's a written report at your desk. The second item I have for you is the quarterly income statement. I just want to make you aware on page 40 is the NGO's payment year to date. And on page 45, you'll find economic development payments year to date. Yesterday, we were informed yesterday afternoon about a possible adverse impact on the Veterans Cemetery out in Keithville. Apparently, the state is cutting back on funds in House Bill 1, and the tentative plan right now is to close the Veterans Cemetery because of lack of funding. If it's passed, if House Bill 1 passed, that's being proposed, that came out of committee, they're projecting to close 21 veteran assistance centers across the state of Louisiana and 2 veteran cemeteries, one in Leesville that's being constructed and the other one in Keithville. So we are avidly going to protest that and try to get our delegation to help us fight that. So I just want to make you aware of that action is being considered right now in the House.
Okay.
And Mr. Grove have a report as well for you, and then I'll finish up with the comment, please.
Okay.
Commissioners, I just want to acknowledge that by this time of the legislative cycle, y'all are used to getting legislative reports through me, and you haven't gotten one yet. it's not that I haven't been kind of following what's going on down there, but I've just had other things that have kept me from getting as organized as I should on it. But I'm just telling you that between now and this time next week, that's going to be fixed. And sometime next week, you will start getting these periodic reports from us that are actually prepared by Lindy Broderick, as last year, with input from me. But I'm going to spend most all day Monday getting a list of bills together that we're following to you, so you know what's going on. And I apologize to you for not having it before now. You should have had it.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mills, would you stand, please? Commissioners, I'm pleased to let you know that Anita will be graduating this coming weekend from LCUS to Shreveport.
Let her come up so we can look at her front and center. We may have forgotten how she looks since last week.
Yeah. Anita's worked very hard to get through statistics and a lot of other hard courses to be able to graduate this coming Sunday from LSUS, and I'm very proud of her. She's getting her bachelor's degree in business administration this weekend.
Thank you very much. I will say that my mind is not quite as young as a lot of the other college students on campus, so it was a little challenging for me, but the Lord put me in the right places at the right time with the right people. So it was a group effort, and I appreciate the opportunity to attend college, and I'm thankful that it's over.
Anita, I would just like to congratulate you. I recall a little while ago when we were dedicating the Veteran Service Office, I was speaking to Mr. Cox, and we were admiring the sit-up and the work that the employees had done getting everything together at that new center. And I told him, I say, when you got super employees, you expect super results. So we appreciate you continuing your education, which will only enhance what you do and on behalf of the citizens of Caddo Parish, and is an asset to the commissioners that serve on this body.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners, one other announcement. He's not in the audience today. King Ward is receiving his master's degree in engineering from Louisiana Tech this Sunday. So we are proud of him as well.
All right. Well, we offer the same kudos to him also.
That concludes my report, sir.
Okay. At this time, any questions of the administrator? We have Ms. Baker, Ms. Bowman, Mr. Cox. And then what we'll do, once we finish with the administrator, we'll go to communiques and reports, okay? All right, Ms. Baker.
On the Veterans Cemetery,
Yes, ma'am.
is that under the state's jurisdiction?
Yes, ma'am,
I thought
it
it was
is.
under the parish.
It's under the state jurisdiction to operate and maintain.
Okay, is there anything that we can do to,
Contact our representatives and ask them to consider not cutting funding of the Veterans Administration. So there's a correspondence at your desk that talks about $800,000 have to be taken out of their budget. So their response to that is to close 21 centers across the state of Louisiana, and also the Veterans Cemetery out in Heathville. So we're disappointed by hearing that, because that's a regional area Veterans Cemetery, and we don't have another one for this part of the state. And plus, there are already honored heroes are interned out there. So it would be unfair to not to maintain that and just walk away from it.
and they didn't mention this when we were down there.
No, ma'am. We got wind of this yesterday afternoon.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Ms. Bowman?
Yes, that was basically my question. As a matter of fact, I remember 10 years ago or more, Commissioner Epperson, when we went to D.C. and went to the Department of Veterans Administration and sit down and talk to them as far as trying to get this. So is it money that's, what, flow through to the state, or, how did the state?
I mean, the federal government purchased the land from us on behalf, to pay for the construction of it. We donate the land on behalf of the state and turn it over to the state to manage. So the state is saying that they can't afford to manage it, the Department of Veterans Affairs, that their budget's going to be cut. They can't pay payroll dollars to manage to keep up the grounds, nor to operate the facility.
Okay, and you're saying it's $81,000?
$831,000.
$831,000. through the state.
Yes, ma'am.
And who all went to legislative day?
That's what I'm saying, they didn't mention it.
I mean,
They did mention it. They did not mention this. We found out about it.
our delegation did not mention it.
No, ma'am. Yeah, I'm not sure where they were apprised of it, but it came out of committee yesterday, and I was immediately called and informed of this information, so it just happened in a day or so. So we went, legislative, they didn't say anything about it.
So that portion where the cemetery is located, who is the state representative for that area? No, I mean the state, the
Director?
representative in that area. Is that Alan C. Ball?
No, that's,
Burford. I think it's Burford.
That's Burford.
And also Sandra Cheeks. I think she represents that area as well.
Yeah.
She does.
They didn't fight, I mean,
We're trying to find.
let me say this.
We're trying to find out.
They are there to represent Caddo Parish.
Yes, ma'am.
And they should have been on the phone calling here and, emailing, doing all kind of, when you represent somebody, you don't just represent for your little pet projects. This is important.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
And I think we need to call them out, call them to task for not just those two, but mainly those two, because that's the area that they were elected to represent. We did the groundwork on trying to get this done, and now all at once, I mean, I just have to say this, the folks down at the state are doing all kind of crazy stuff. They're not taking care of home. Coalitions are not built where they can work with others to try to bring home what they need to bring home. I'm very dissatisfied with them, and I don't mind them doing it. Not just about that, but there's so many issues that affects where we are. City of Shreveport, Caddo Parish, and they're not doing it. And the main thing about it, if you feel that your back is against the wall and you can't do it, scream about it, say something, and at least let us know that you are concerned, and not just going with status quo and allowing things to just happen. That bothers me when your representatives are not fired up and concerned about major issues like that at home. You always take care of home first.
I agree.
I'm gonna hush. Thank you.
Mr. Cox?
I'm going to tie in on when you left off. This is respect of the fallen soldiers, men and women who served this country. While we were down there, we talked to a few of the legislators, and issues like TOPS came up. How are we going to fund TOPS? How are we going to fund this? Well, when you got football coaches in this state making $1 million a year out of college, I say we got a problem. Our values are screwed up, and our points of interest are screwed up in this state. That in turn puts the VA in jeopardy. I want to know when they're going to vote on this. I want to know if this body can send down a resolution before that vote. And if we have to go hand deliver and talk to the committee before they vote on this and make them feel that not only is it disservice to the people of this nation, it's a disservice to the people of Caddo Parish and the ones who fought and served for this country. I have always been, along with Mr. Epson and everybody on this board, a firm believer into that park up there and that final resting place for these veterans. We should not let this go. If Bobby General can get word from this forum here today, go find the money somewhere else and fund the VAs and the cemeteries. This is wrong for our state to do this. Thank you.
Mr. Thibodeau?
It says in here that not only would they cease operations, but that they would no longer have regular upkeep and maintenance. So, I mean, were they just going to let it all grow over and turn into the woods again, or is that their plan? And do you know what it actually costs to operate
this cemetery, this one?
We can find out soon.
Okay.
We met with the director today after the Natural Resource Committee meeting. And we can call Mr. Frazier again and ask him that question soon. I'll get that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, on the second go-round, anyone else? We have not spoken. Ms. Baker?
Do you know if this has been to the committee yet?
Yes, ma'am. It's coming out of committee.
So they've already did their deliberations on it in the committee? Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, you don't know where the hell I'm gonna be on this. Go right home, baby, stay home. That is absolutely ridiculous. Yes, sir. Ms. Bowman, do you know that it took us, we got $5.6 million from Congress, and it took us almost 8 years to get $700,000 from the state of Louisiana so we could start. That tells you something. I don't see how anyone on that committee could sleep if they voted. Hey, Harold, put that out. It's ridiculous. And we will let them know. Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, now we have communications and committee report. Yeah, Mr. Dominique?
Just had one thing I heard about this recent news that Animal Control had to come up to Vivian to euthanize a 8-foot alligator today that was within the town limits. I don't know how it got there, but I appreciate y'all taking care of my constituents. It's happened funny in the rural areas sometime, but hope everything went okay. Glad I didn't get bit.
That's it, Mr. Dominique?
Yeah.
All right, Ms. Baker?
Keep that alligator in Vivian too. Next Wednesday, May 25th, 9 a.m. will be our second Economic Development Committee retreat at the Swepco building, second floor. Of course, you all know that you have some homework was to bring your mission and your vision statements that you have, and also discuss our meeting that we had Tuesday with the city as far as collaboration and partnership. And also we're going to discuss what's our next move that we're going to make in our future endeavors. So it's Wednesday, May 25th at 9 a.m. at the Swepco building. Second floor. That's it.
Mr. Smith?
I'd like to inform you that the budget has been passed by the House, not the Senate. Get off of my daughter, please. But that don't mean you don't still fight, because it is tough down there, guys. And things will happen that we don't want to happen. So we'll follow up on it from our standpoint, from your representative for that district, I promise you. And I can tell you where she stands. She'll never vote for it, so thank you, sir.
Okay. Did you want to mention anything about your committee meeting?
Yes. Natural Resource Committee had a meeting today, and we have some things to bring forth to the full body for your approval. I think there will be exciting plans for you, and finally we're going to be able to start moving forward on some big things we've been talking about. So now we get ready to go back to work again, I guess. But thank you, sir.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay.
Next, we have the President's report.
I think Ms. Samuels or Jennifer may have some correspondence from Ms. Benedito from LSU, Health and Science Center Department of Psychiatry. If you would get that information to Mr. Wilson, I want to see if that's an avenue that we would like to explore. We don't have to do it now. That we would like to explore once we meet with the sheriff and all of the judicial people in our meeting that we have about incarceration. So they'll get that information to you. Okay, that's all I have.
Next, we need to adopt the minutes of the regular meeting held on May the 5th.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Dominique, seconded by Commissioner Lynch. Any discussion? Okay, let's vote, please. That passes. Next order, please.
We have a public hearing on zoning ordinances. Zoning case P4-11 in regard to ordinance number 5092, 5700 block of North Market Street, property located on the southwest side of North Market, south of Old Morrisport Road. Red River Land and Investment Company applicant.
Okay, is there anyone here to speak in favor of zoning case P411? If so, please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and you may proceed.
My name is Steve Clark. My address is 2611 Kings Highway in Shreveport. I represent the company that owns the property, and I will answer any questions you may have. I also want to make a request that since there's been no opposition, if y'all approve the zoning change, that it be taken effect immediately and not wait for the ad to come out in the paper.
Okay. That's it? Okay, thank you, sir. Is that, I'm sorry. I have a question. Hold up, sir. Let's ask him to answer a question.
There's a question. I can answer.
I'm sorry, is there a specific reason why you want this approved to be effective immediately?
Well, there's been no opposition here and none at the MPC meeting either, and the people that we're selling the property to would like to get started on their construction of their facility there immediately, if possible.
Okay.
They have a closing, I'm sorry, it's my understanding there's a closing date, and they're kind of on a time frame, and they didn't say this is a Taco Bell. It's actually in Commissioner Linda B. Johnson's district, but it's right on the edge of my district. But it's my understanding that y'all have a closing date, a time frame. I don't have a problem with affecting immediately. I know Commissioner Johnson doesn't, because he said he liked Taco Bell, and I do too.
I do too.
The only problem I have is if Commissioner Cox beats us to Taco Bell.
Especially after our report came out a while back.
Okay, well,
Can't tell it, but.
keep in line with previous commercials, Yo Quiero Taco Bell.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Okay. Is there anyone else to speak in favor of this zoning here? Okay, is there anyone here present today to speak in opposition? Okay, next order, please.
Moves the public hearing on ordinances. Ordinance number 5093, 2011, setting the parish millage for the purpose of paying principal and interest due in 2011 on outstanding parish bond issues, and to instruct the tax assessor to include said millage on the tax roll.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5093 of 2011? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Next order, please.
Ordinance number 5094 of 2011, to adopt the values fixed or to be fixed by the Louisiana Tax Commission on all assessments for railways and other public service corporations, and to instruct the tax assessor to extend such assessments and values on the tax rolls of Caddo Parish.
Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5094 of 2011? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Okay.
Ordinance number 5095 of 2011, to set the general purpose millages and special purpose millages, and to instruct the tax assessor to include said millages on the tax rolls of Caddo Parish.
Anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5095 of 2011? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Okay.
Ordinance number 5096 of 2011, setting the assessment of property classified as timberlands, and to instruct the tax assessor to include said assessments on the tax roll of Caddo Parish.
Anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5096 of 2011? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Okay.
Ordinance number 5100 of 2011, to authorize the sale of the parish's interest less and accept mineral interest in lots 9 and 10 in the North Shreveport Industrial Park, Unit Number 1.
Anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5100 of 2011? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Okay, next order.
Mr. President, I want to remind everybody, there will be a second public hearing and final adoption on June 9th for this ordinance.
Okay, thank you.
Ordinance number 5101 of 2011, reapportioning Caddo Parish into 12 commission districts, enumerating the constituent precincts respectively comprising the commission districts.
Okay. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5101 of 2011? Anyone here to speak in opposition? Okay. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have 6 cards. And I see, I have Dr. Cash as a speaker, I have Shirley Wills as a speaker, Alvin Kirk, Lloyd Thompson, Joe Wills, and Michael Williams. So we have 6. On this measure, it's a total of 15 minutes if we have more than 5 speakers, 3 minutes each, am I correct? Okay, at this time, you all may divide your comments within that number. So many people you will have 15 minutes. First of all, would you state your name and address for the record, and you may proceed.
Yes, my name is Otis Cash, and I reside at 119 Waters Edge Drive, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71106. Let me just say in my 2 minutes that I have a son graduating on Sunday from LSUS in business administration with an emphasis on international business. And then also, let me just say in support of this, I support the plan that we put together. I believe the plan that we put together is a plan for the future. I think it's important that all of you take a hard look at it, and we passed it out. If you don't have any today, or if you're missing one, we can make it available for you. But it's a plan that works for this parish for the future. And so I ask your support in considering this plan. It goes up to justice, as I'm told anyway, but it would really look good going up to justice with support. So I really ask your support in this matter. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Cash, and congratulations to your son. Okay. Next we have Ms. Shirley Wills. State your name and address for the record, please, ma'am, and you may proceed. Good to see you. I think you have a little history behind your name, don't you? Yeah.
Shirley Wills.
From, juror or commissioner?
Juror.
Juror, okay.
Shirley Wills, 1619 Easy Street. I would just like to say that I am very much in support of Dr. Cash's plan, and I'm asking that you will support it if you can. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Shirley. Good to see you. Next we have Mr. Alvin Kirk. Mr. Kirk, if you would come forward, state your name and address for the record, sir, and you may proceed. Good to see you again, too. I have a picture on my wall where you and I were in the radio studio.
I remember that quite.
Some years back, we both just turned 30.
Years when back when I had here. My name is Alvin Kirk. I reside at 4328 Lillian Street, Shreveport, Louisiana. And I think I'm in District 5, but I get confused. And this past election, I was told that I was in the same district as the Martin Luther King area, and I had to vote for the person in that area. Is there some way that we can be notified? And I hear that Dr. Cash has a plan. Has this been published in the newspaper, or is it some way that we can be notified in advance to any changes being made in the district lines?
Okay. Once you finish your comments, I'll answer that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Well, we'll hold up. You ready for that? Okay, sir, we did have 3 public hearings. They were publicized in the newspaper, and today is also a public hearing day. Maps are available by calling the commission clerk's office. I think we made that number available in there. You can also come down and go to the 8th floor and ask for our GSE person, Mr. Leon Gafford, and he would give you maps. So we tried to do all that we could to publicize this. And but we're sorry that you may have missed it, but there is a process that we have followed up until this point.
Okay, well, I do appreciate it. I understand that we are back in District 5, And I have nothing against the Martin Luther King area, but that's just a totally different part of the city. And they have different problems up there than what we have in the Queensboro area.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay. Next, we have Mr. Joe Wills. Mr. Wills, if you come forward, state your name and address for the record. I know you too. We gonna tell our age, You ever heard of a place called AT&T? No, wait a minute, Western Electric when we were there.
Kid, you keep going doing what you want to talk about.
I got that bad knee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Good to see you, bro. Name and address for the record, sir, and you may...
Joe Wills, 1619 Easy Street, 71101. You see what I'm holding this 10, 11 years ago. Those are ours over District 9. I'm in support of Dr. Cash's plan. I'm also questioning the Access Justice Department to review both of these lines. You have to be careful because when we move those lines, not to dilute the black vote. If you don't see it, you can see it. This on Easy Street, 1619 Easy, where I live, my sister lives at 1526 Easy. We on the same street in two different districts. She had one city councilman, I had another, on the same street. So you better be careful moving these lines, because you can't move the lines and dilute the black vote. Now, if you don't see it, you can. This hit 10, 11 years ago, and we come up with the same thing again, moving the lines this time. From what I hear, black voters are being moved from swing districts to predominantly black districts, which doesn't make any sense to put no more black votes in no predominantly black district because it don't do no good. Because the black can win anyway with 72 or 74% of the vote. But when you take black votes out of a swing district of 50-50 and take 10% of the black votes and put them in a black predominant district, you leave the other blacks in this other district, you dilute their vote. Because you move the whites up to 50% and you drop the black votes down to 40%. You dilute the black vote. Those are these lines. Now, what they mean about that is this. You come in here and look at the population. That's how you draw your lines according to the population. The population of Shreveport is 55% black, 41% white. And when he has somebody to draw up the plan, with all due respect, these districts don't belong to you all. That's on the city council, all the school board. These districts belong to the citizens. And if we pay whoever to draw these lines, he needs to get an input from us. But they come and talk about, we going around, he telling you y'all, this is my district. It ain't none of your district. Let's get that clear. It's not none of your district. This is the citizen district. And they have a right to determine how it should go. You have no right to tell me how you going to change. You going to put this over there. I talk to him and he talk to that. He going to try to move people because he wants them to live close together. He wants them to go to the same church. He wants them to know each other. He wants them to go to the same grocery store. Well, you tell him, I said, that would have been a good plan. It's like in plantation days. Because all of us lived on Mr. Charlie plantation. All of us stayed in Mr. Charlie houses. And all of us went to Mr. Charlie's store. But the freeway that comes through now, and the plantation is gone, Mr. Charlie is gone, and the store is gone, and we can shop and go to church and stay wherever the hell we want to. Now you tell me that's the way you draw your plan up. So I'm going to ask the Justice Department to review whatever you do. Because I think you're in violation. I think you're in violation. If you don't see it, you can. If you don't see it, I think you're in violation. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, hold up. I just got one to make sure I get a point of information. Now, you say you and your sister is on the same street and you're in a different...
Two different districts. It is.
Well, I mean on commission?
No, it was in the city council. It was in ours with the line.
Right, but we talking about reports.
Anyway, anytime you move the line, see, you can't move the lines according to the rate of the voters, so the Justice Department say.
Right.
You have to move the lines according to the population of the people. Okay. So if you got 51% black and 41% white, the people should be moved.
Okay.
Not the line. The people should be moved where you can create another black district and don't put black in another black district that don't need to be over there.
Okay. All right, thank you, but I want you to check before you leave today and make sure that you and your sister.
No. I know where we're coming from. We're going to Carl Pilson, old district, coming around the Stony Hill area. But I'm just saying, not only us, this goes for the whole city. When we do them lines, the Justice Department going to review this. And I'm asking for a review because I've been through this before. When you got a land, you got lines according to the population of the city. Not registered voters. Because registered voters, I don't vote black folks. But then you go by the population because we have to be represented too. But when you take black voters out of districts and put them in a predominantly black district, and leave them over here with all white, they don't have a chance to get nobody to represent them unless it's legal and unconstitutional. And the Justice Department gonna have to review. I want them to review it just to make sure. Any more comments?
Okay, thank you, sir.
And I got the help, I was gonna help out where you go to the store too.
All right. Next we have Mr. Michael Williams.
Y'all can run something off.
I believe I know that dude. I don't know
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, to the Vice Chairman, Parliamentarian. My name is Michael Williams with the 2101 Carver Place, Shreveport, Louisiana, and Caddo Parish. Let me just say, Mr. Chairman, I enjoyed working with you and Commissioner Escudé. You, Commissioner Epperson, was a mentor of mine when I was a 31-year-old young man on this commission body. I want to say publicly thank you for your help during that time. Chairman, I rise from my seat to say that I represent the weak, the elderly, the poor, the disenfranchised, because we know from recent past, we don't want to rehearse and rehash the past when we're creating, when we're drafting, when we're crafting a new district or line. We want to make sure that the poor and the elderly know where to vote and when to vote. It's been in the past, as Mr. Will so eloquently stated, that oftentimes when people have changed, they don't even know where to go and where to vote. And what that does is dilute the minority vote in the majority black districts. And I like to see the day where we don't worry about color of one's skin, but the one character that can represent all people in our city, in our parish. And I think there need to be an aggressive public relation campaign when it comes to redistricting, because we look at the past, oftentimes when I had the opportunity to work in redistricting, and a lot of times people didn't know where to vote. We're not trying to weaken the vote, we're trying to strengthen the vote. And in order for Shreveport to become the next great city of the New South, I foresaw the change coming where we will become the majority, and we always play by the majority rules. We always done that. We either had to do it by force or we did it by choice. So I trust that this body have two plans on the table. I trust that our august, esteemed expert has a plan, and Dr. Cash has a plan. You have the privilege to vote on both plans, and I know you would do what is right, what is fair, and what is equitable for our parish in our city. I respect what you do. I respect you have some gut check decisions to make, and I know you'll do what is best and not what is popular. And I don't believe you're only doing it to seek your own interests, but I believe you're doing it for the people's interests. And without further ado, I hope that when that time do come, you do what is fair and what is right. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your convictions, and vote what you think is right for the people of Caddo Parish. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next we have Mr. Lloyd Thompson. Come forward, state your name and address for the record, sir, and you may proceed. I know you too.
I'm Lloyd Thompson, address P.O. Box 3083, Shreveport, Louisiana. Our two roles, like Mike said, is that I know you have two plans before you. And I come and ask you to look at both plans and make a gut decision. Best decision that's going to suit the people of Caddo Parish. That we all can be represented fairly and equal, and everything will go forward. NAACP, on behalf of them, I'm going to be watching both plans and make sure whatever decision you make is going to make sure that our community grows and our community continue to be on the forefront. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Thompson. Okay, I have no further, are there any other requests? Okay, we thank you very much. Next order of business, Mr. Clerk.
Order number 5088,
88 of 2000 to amend the budget of estimated revenues, expenditures for the Riverboat Fund and Economic Development Fund in the amount of $30,000 for Get Up Incorporated for the C.C. Antoine project.
Anyone here to speak in favor of ordinance number 5088 of 2011? Please come forward, state your name and address for the record, and you may proceed.
Craig Lee, 1035 Eustis Street, Shreveport, Louisiana. First off, I want to echo the sentiment of all of the commissioners that's going to fight for the Veterans Cemetery. I am on record of wanting to work with you guys in terms of the advocacy. My father is a veteran. He's been incapacitated for the past 17 years at Booker T. Washington Manor Nursing Home. And one of the things I checked on just last year was his benefits as it relates to his burial. And that facility offers him free headstone and a lot of other amenities. And so whatever you guys push forward will echo that sentiment. That's the first and foremost thing. I also want to thank you guys for the consideration for our budget for this particular project. We submitted information to Mr. Grubb's office the other day in reference to the breakdown of the projects and also the economic benefit. And lastly, tonight at 6 o'clock at the Galilee Baptist Church, the city of Shreveport is convening a meeting with the Department of HUD. They won a $17 million planning grant as it relates to this particular project in terms of Heritage Place. And the C.C. Antoine piece is an integral piece as it relates to bringing the Heritage Place component together. So with a lot of the creative things that we're doing with C.C. Antoine and a lot of the other historical data that we'll be bringing out over the next several years, it's going to help to elevate the tax base for the city of Shreveport and also the parish of Caddo. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else here to speak in favor? Anyone here to speak in opposition to ordinance number 5088 of 2011? Okay, next order, please, Ms. Clerk.
That concludes our public hearing on ordinances. We move to zoning ordinances for final passage. Ordinance number 5092 in regard to 2001 zoning case P4-11, 5700 block of North Market Street, located on the southwest side of North Market, south of Orleans Fort Road, River Land and Investment Company, applicant.
So moved by Commissioner Dominique, seconded by Commissioner Johnson. On the discussion, we have Mr. Escabay, Mr. Dominique. Mr. Dominique, since you was the maker of the motion, we'll let you go first, sir.
As I said earlier, this is in a commercial district, it appears to be. A lot of growth is going on the North Market area off of Highway 1. This is on the edge of Commissioner Johnson's district, in my district, and it's actually in his district. It is proposed Taco Bell. There's a time-sensitive nature. Therefore, it is in the ordinance that it will take effect immediately. And I'm asking that you support this ordinance as it is. And I believe Mr. Johnson is too.
As the second, Mr. Johnson, any comments?
Basically, that there is commercial property right next door to this, so there's no. That's why there really is no opposition to it. And I do favor the moving it to immediately once it is passed.
Mr. Escabay, my question has been answered. Thank you. Okay. All right. Seeing no further requests for debate, all in favor? All right. Whatever your pleasure is. I'm sorry.
What was you telling me? I was trying to listen to you.
I'm sorry.
What we got? We want immediate effect. Is that in the ordinance? It
is in the ordinance.
It is?
Is that correct, Mr.?
It's not. If it's not, then we'll.
It is in there. I think what he was saying was that there is a, I guess.
I just was mentioning, Mr. Dominic, that the applicant, assuming the commission votes to approve this, even though it's got an immediate effective date, there is, I don't know if the ordinance is controversial or not, but if it's controversial, there is an appeal delay by which someone could appeal this decision, which I believe is 10 days, so I would advise the applicant to be judicious about what he does until the appeal delays are brought.
That's a point we are taking. I think we can circumvent the charter on that. Okay, all in, we'll vote, please. Okay, that passes. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5093, stating the parish millage for purpose of paying principal and interest due in 2011 on outstanding parish bond issues, and instruct the tax assessor to include said millage on tax roll.
So moved. Moved by Mr. Escudé. Seconded by Ms. Baker. Discussion, Mr. Escudé.
No, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you take his name off, Ms. Samuels? I see no request for discussion. We'll vote. Will you come up, please? That passes. Next order.
Ordinance number 5094, 2011, adopt the values fixed or to be fixed by the Louisiana Tax Commission on all assessments for railways and other public service corporations, and instruct the tax assessor to extend such assessments and values on the tax roll.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Escudé. Seconded by Commissioner Dominic. Any discussion? Seeing no request for discussion, once we come up, we vote, please. That passes. Mr. Craig, next order.
Ordinance number 5095, 2011, to set the general purpose millages and special purpose millages, instruct the tax assessor to include said millages on the tax roll of Caddo Parish.
So moved. Moved by Commissioner Johnson. Second. Seconded by Commissioner Escudé. Any discussion? Vote, please, when you come up. That passes. Next order, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5096 of 2011, setting the assessment of property classified as timberlands, and to instruct the tax assessor to include in assessments on tax roll.
So moved.
Second. Moved by Commissioner Lynch, seconded by Commissioner Lynn. And discussion? Okay, we'll vote, please. That passes. Next order.
Next, ordinance 5101, 2011, reapportioning Caddo Parish into 12 commission districts, eliminating the constituent precincts respectively comprising the commission districts.
Do we need to vote on the one before that to move it to June 9th, or is it already moved there?
5100.
5100, we'll have a second public hearing and final adoption on June the 9th. There's no need to do anything today.
Okay. Okay, next order, what was it, Mr. Craig?
5101, reapportioning Caddo Parish into 12 commission districts.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Thibodeau, seconded by Mr. Escudé. Chair would like to be recognized. I would like to make a substitute motion to postpone the vote on this ordinance today and reschedule a special commission meeting on June the 6th at 1:00 p.m. for a final public hearing as well as the final vote relative to this ordinance on redistricting. If I can get a second. Second. Speak on the motion. Realizing the process that we have at hand, it appears as though we have run into a few technicalities. I know especially as it concerns my district. I made a few changes. We were not able to get maps in time where I could peruse it. There are some individuals, especially one individual, and I wouldn't like to discuss his medical condition, but he had a major medical problem, and I always, with him being a principal in a municipality, go over situations such as this with him, but his medical condition did not allow. Nor did I get my maps with clear and definitive lines and descriptions in a timely manner, which I think I would have the opportunity to peruse them and act in the best interest of my constituents. And I may have heard some requests from some other commissions to the same. I spoke with Mr. John and several other commissioners. We will still be within the time purview that I think to make a timely submission to the Department of Justice. But I think we should err in the favor of being a little cautious to make sure that we have all of our T's crossed and all of our I's dotted, because I think that's really our responsibility to the citizens of Caddo Parish. And I'd also, in one of the public hearings and down here today, sometimes there are people that's making insinuation that someone is trying to do something to favor themselves and so forth and so on. Of course, we know these are not our commission districts, but we are sitting in them now, and we have a responsibility to our citizens to make sure that we properly peruse this, get adequate input, and make an intelligent decision and submission to the Department of Justice, and hopefully it will minimize any problem that it will be returned to us in an unfavorable condition. On the discussion, we have Mrs. Lynch.
I think the second of your motion wanted to speak.
I'm sorry, Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, I supported.
Right, we have it.
I supported that motion because after the town hall meeting in Vivian, 3 districts, but there were some changes proposed to 3 districts. District 1, District 2, and District 12. And I think all of the commissioners just got that information today in the packet. So wanted to make sure that all of the commissioners saw the changes that were brought after these town hall meetings.
That's it, Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Mr. Dominique?
Yeah, we had the Beaver Town Hall meeting, there was some, that was the first map I was able to see, and been asking for copies of the map, because once you get into roads, it's really hard to see, and I was not able to even really see them that good at that time, but there were some changes after that. This past Monday when we came up here, the map was not what Mr. Joyner, and it's nothing against Dr. Joyner, because I think he's been diligently doing the best job he can, but the map did not match to what he was saying. And I had some concerns. I just simply said, and y'all remember, I said, I want the map in my hands by Thursday, and I want it to match what it is. It's still not matching what Dr. Joyner is saying, so either the map is drawn or Dr. Joyner is wrong. I think I just had some problems with it. I mean, I would like to see the map the way it's supposed to be. So I'm not going to vote on it like it is today, because apparently the map is incorrect, and I need to see that. I think it needs to be publicized correctly. I think that the commissioners need to be having the proper maps and what we're going to vote for. Talking to Dr. Joyner, if we do make this I think we set a special meeting at 1 o'clock on June 6th on our next commission meeting. It should give us time to get all this stuff straightened out.
Okay. Ms. Lynch?
Yes, I agree with all of the reasons that have gone forth as well. But the other concern that I have with this particular, or with really both of the plans that are before us today, is we know that the population in Caddo Parish has basically remained stagnant over the last 20 years. The African American population in Shreveport is 55%. The African American population for the Caddo Parish is at 47%. The goal of redistricting is twofold. One is to make sure that each commissioner has, I guess, a plus or minus population size of 21,247, and also to ensure that communities can elect representatives of their choice in each of those 12 districts. Based upon the 2010 census numbers, Caddo Parish should have 6 majority African American voting districts. Currently, there are only 5. Statistically, the population for the entire parish is not that much difference. I think there are about 4,000 more whites in Caddo Parish than blacks, and therefore the parish population also supports the creation of a 6th voting majority African American district. I'm the Commission's representative to the U.S. Department of Justice. And of course, we got new maps and new information today, but just on the information that I have on the map that we were originally going to consider, I don't feel that African American voting strength has been accurately reflected in those plans. And I think that African American voters, as the plan is currently drawn, have less of an opportunity to elect candidates of their choice. For example, just a couple of examples. In District 10, the census population is 20,162. African Americans comprise currently today 51% of that district. Under Plan 9, the African American population plummets to 36.52%. Blacks in District 10 were packed into existing majority African American districts, and majority white precincts were added to that particular district.
This is also basically the same area that created a bunch of contention when the House of Representatives was attempting to create an additional minority district. As I heard one of the people say during the public comment, that the African American population in certain districts, like District 5 and District 6, which were already 89% and 84% black respectively, got additional black population. So there's some unnecessary, I think, packing in those districts, while there were other districts, cohesive majority black precincts, that were put into majority white precincts, such as Precinct 50, was put, I believe, into Commissioner Escudet's district and split some of Cedar Grove off into him. Another example where Mr. Wills lived, the African American population in District 4 under Plan 9 decreases the African American population from 33% to 22%. So there are just some, some things that I want to continue to look at. I don't know if there's substantially any changes. I think the plan Gary did a great job of keeping our core precincts in place. And Dr. Cash's plan, I think Gary said it was a fair plan at the public hearing that I attended, and I agree that it is a fair plan. I think there are certain parts of it that are fairer than Plan 9, but I still don't think that plan even goes far enough in addressing African American representation and voting strength in Caddo Parish. Like I said, currently we have 5 majority African American voting districts. The population changes, I think, support the creation of a 6th district. So I'm hoping that this additional time that we have will allow us some opportunities to continue to look at those maps collectively, not just individually, our districts. I think that, my district in particular, and I say my, because I've been elected by the people that live in District 7 twice. This last time with 70% of the vote, so if it seems like, we're saying my district, it's in the sense that these are the folks that represented us, that voted for us to represent them and to represent their interests. And so certainly we want to do that, but under both plans, my particular district, District 7, the district that I represent, is fine with the plan that Dr. Joyner drew, and also the plan that Dr. Cash drew. But it's not really about just my district. My role is a little bit broader than that as the Commission Liaison to the Justice Department, to look at the entire parish and to make sure that African American voting strength has not been diluted in this process. Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. Escudé?
I just had a question. This does not affect the fall's election dates, does it? Joanna?
If you assemble and vote on the 6th, whatever plan that you decide to do, you will have enough time. It's going to be closer, obviously. You can't look at the election date. You have to look at qualifying dates, which is, I believe, September 6th to the 8th. You have to back up a week for that, at least a week, because the Register of Voters has to be able to migrate voters. You have to back up an additional 60 days, which goes, that would say September 1st, August 1st, July 1st. It's going to take probably 7 to 10 days between me and the commission staff to get all the documents ready to go. So yeah, we can do it, but it's going to give you maybe a leeway of about a week. So yeah, you can certainly do it.
Thank you, sir.
One other comment. For the record, there are 6 districts. The 6th district is District 12. When you look at it, it is 53% African American, which is very, very light. But in voting age population, there is a good 10% spread between African American and white. It's an African American district. Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to seems like the consensus is to delay this. You know, and I'm not gonna get in the way of that. But, you know, what's apparent to me today is just how, I guess, we have to take the responsibility of a poor job we've done of informing the public about the process and letting them know how the process works. Because, you know, all I've heard today is majority, minority districts, and that's the most important thing. And you know, everybody knows as far as the Justice Department is concerned, that's one factor. You know, can't go splitting people's schools and neighborhoods and families, and there's common interest in border restrictions and geographic boundaries. There's a whole lot more to it than that. And it's a very, very complicated work. And I know that Mr. Joyner's worked his tail off, and he's an expert in his field. And we've never had a problem in the past from Justice on any plan that we've submitted. So, but in an effort to allow, you know, more public input and have another public hearing, you know, I'll go along with that. But I think he's got a good plan and he's got a fair plan. I think we have 6 districts evenly split now, you know, as far as representation. Population's about evenly split. You know, begs the question, you know, it's just simple math. So, you know, I really don't know that we're looking at, we're not even divided politically anymore. There's, you know, 6 Democrats here, 5 Republicans, and no party. I mean, you know, I just, you know, for all the progress we've made, this is just kind of a little offensive to me. I'm sorry, it's disheartening that we're going back to this. You know, as far as personally, my perspective on it, I'm going under the proposal from having the 2nd most populated district to the 3rd least populated. Mr. Thibodeau's taking a heck of a hit. You know, it's not we can't take credit for the growth we've experienced in our area. I wish I could, but I didn't do it. Didn't build a Target Supercenter. I didn't do all that stuff. It's just happened. And now, to accommodate other people whose districts who have lost population, I'm giving up a big chunk of population. It doesn't matter. I can represent anybody, and so is Commissioner Thibodeau. But to do that, I'm going from having a nice compact district, which I could easily walk, to massive geography going all the way down to the parish line on the Red River side, just to pick up 600 voters to offset the 6,000 I'm losing. I don't mind that. You know, as I tell Mr. Joyner, and Mr. Thibodeau was there, let it fall where it needs to fall. I don't care. I can represent anybody and anything they need fairly. You know, I'm a stand-up guy, so it doesn't matter to me who they are or what their needs are. I'll do the work. So I'm not going to stand in the way of this for the sake of having some more discussion, but, you know, it's just, you know, I'm really a little sad by this. Thank you.
Mr. Cox? I would like to say that District 10 has been well represented for 8 years. And I don't care who lives there, what side of the street you live on. If there's a problem, I've taken care of it. The whole deal was population by numbers. It's not who you are, what color you are, or where you live, or what party affiliation you are. I gave up some of my rural area to tag on to Mr. Thibodeau's area to get the 2,000 votes I needed, or the 2,000 population I needed to be good. But my district is still close, what is it, Gary, 54? And I don't care. I'm there to serve the people of District 10 and Caddo Parish as a whole. Bottom line, I don't care who you are. If you're living in my district today and you're out here, you got a problem, call me. If you're in District 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, whatever, and you got a problem, call me. Because we are up here to serve the people of Caddo Parish and the people of the districts that we represent. I'm not going to vote to postpone it today. The districts or the precincts that are in trouble, or Gary, I'd like to ask a question about that. Maybe Stephen remind me to ask. They're saying that there's some districts up in their area that need to be redone, or what? I'd like wait a minute. I'd like clarification on it.
Now, the reference is to a set of precincts that sit around Blanchard. We talked about this in the very beginning. When the town of Blanchard annexed to the north and to the east, there are 2 two parallel voting precincts, 137, 138, and they just, not illegal in what they did, but it's just a complex system. And they made them discontiguous. They just sort of blew them out of the water. So to be able to get a handle on what can happen, what should happen, we recreated, realigned 138, the new 160, the new 161. We had to alter, particularly 138 is in 4 pieces now. It's 4 separate precincts. And so as this evolved, numbers of precincts had to be changed, that kind of thing. In the software program that I use, everything's fine. Mr. Gavher and I met. We've met a couple of times. We're still working on as of this morning, he was doing the maps that you have now. And so everybody's on the same page as far as the staff and me. But that's what it is. It's an extraordinarily complex ordinance, and it is an extraordinarily complex set of geographies. So that's the issue up there.
So the maps that we all have today are the exact maps that we are voting on, and they are set as is.
There's still a question on District 2 under Mr. Johnson, and District 1, as I turn my head, District 1 under Mr. Dominic.
And I won't, and mine, I just got my map.
Well, yes, your precinct 134 that you requested is on there. It should be fine. I haven't seen any errors on yours. But it's, yours was a whole precinct map.
Well, I understand, but still, I had not seen the map until I got here.
I understand.
Okay.
But as far as the really, and not belittling 134, because it's a big chunk of ground, and it's got people in it. The big issue is what happens off of Old Mooringsport Road. Between Old Mooringsport Road, 173, Highway 1, and then tapering down to the south. And south of Old Mooringsport Road to the Blanchard city limits up to 173. They also had to make a minor change that I think is going to make it better. The question is now that Blanchard's going to be in 2 precincts, 158 and 164. 158 is the original precinct, is where do you cut it? I had originally thought that we would cut it in the northernmost street, Kinder Place, I believe, Kinder Drive, anyway, Kinder. That's in the northern part of the old town, original town, most recent town, Blanchard, before they did their 173 acquisition. And so instead of doing that, I think it's going to cause more voter confusion by doing that. We're going to move the cut between those 2 precincts right where Old Mooringsport Road comes in to 173. It's going to be a precinct cut that's the width of a right-of-way of a state highway. But everything north of that will be in a nice clean cut, and everything on the south of it will be on a nice clean cut. And that's one of the reasons that your maps were delayed. We're trying to come up with something. I'm trying to reduce voter confusion. I mean, that's the ultimate thing. No personalities involved. It's just about voter confusion. And the Red Star voters, Mr. Robertson and I, we're talking about that, and it's not going to be an easy thing under any circumstances because of that growth. But that's it.
In your personal opinion, if we do vote to delay this, we'll still be in line?
We can get it done.
Do you need that extra time to get that straightened out?
Not on my end.
So you're done?
I'm not done, but I'm ready to go for the next step.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's see. I see Ms. Lynch on the second go-round. Who has not spoken? Ms. Baker, you haven't spoken? Ms. Baker?
Call for the question.
Question's been called for.
Second.
And seconded by Ms. Bowman. We'll vote on calling for the question. We'll take a 2/3 vote. Okay, the question has been called for. Now we'll vote on the motion of on the floor. The motion is to postpone the ordinance relative to redistricting, call a special commission meeting to address that particular ordinance again in a public hearing at 1:00 p.m., June the 6th, 2003, in the Caddo Parish Commission chamber.
How about 2000?
2011.
2011.
You really want to be funny over there.
I tell you, I was funny.
We tried to get you one of the proclamations. You know,
All right. Okay, let's vote, please. Thank you. And before we leave that issue, Mr. Clerk, please have ads put in the paper with borders around them in bold print, PSAs to all radio and television stations. And Mr. Wilson, if you would get Mr. Gafford, like we had the large mats out in the foyer the other day, put them in the hall out there, have someone giving information in the event that citizens come down where they can request information, and we'll make sure that we are in compliance. We will take into consideration if we will have the minutes transcribed as to the public hearing part that we had today, even though we voted to postpone, that those minutes verbatim be ready at that special meeting on June 6th. Okay, next up.
Ordinance number 5880, 2011, to amend the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for the Riverboat Fund and Economic Development Fund in the amount of $30,000 for Get Up Incorporated.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Cox, seconded by Commissioner Baker. On discussion, we have the maker of the motion, if he would like.
On behalf of Mr. Pierce and myself, we would just like to say that after dealing with Mr. Lee over this process, we feel that this is a well-oiled machine headed toward a good direction, and if y'all could support this ordinance to get this passed, we can get it to the next level. Thank you.
Any other requests for discussion? Okay, well, push hard, you're not registered. Okay, Mr. Johnson, Ms. Lynch, anyone else?
Yes, my question is,
Okay, Mr. Johnson?
where would the funds be coming from to fund the 30,000?
Basically, we were asking,
Let's see, who would that be, Ms. Frazier?
The ordinance says Riverboat.
The money will be coming from the Riverboat and the Economic Development. I think it's 20,000 from Riverboat and 10,000 from Economic Development.
Okay, but it wouldn't be taken from those organizations, it'd just be coming from that particular fund.
The way I understand it was we were moving money from two organizations and giving it to this organization.
Ms. Lynch?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get a clarification on. The actual motion is to allocate the $30,000 to Get Up and defund two other organizations, correct?
That's what's in the ordinance?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else? Okay, I'm going to speak, I'm going to be in opposition to this ordinance, not because of anything to the persons that will be utilizing these funds, but basically within the way that they were brought up. I've been here since the inception of donating funds to what we call non-governmental entities or community-based organizations. Highly contentious within those particular years, but I think we've done a tremendous job and came a long way since the 90s. However, one thing that it appears as though we have not gotten right, even though we've had committee meetings, we've had policies and rules in place, but we continuously violate them. And I think we need to discipline ourselves. Now, had this been an organization whereas there was a distinct emergency or some extenuating circumstances with life and limb and something in behalf of the parish that may be of a detriment, I can see breaking our rules. But if we continuously to break our rules, and if we don't respect ourselves, then we cannot get respect from the community. Each year we publicize when the NGOs are to be in place. And since we voted on the 2011 budget last year in our meeting in accordance with the charter to vote on it prior to the end of the year, all those funds were approved for those particular organizations that met the criteria in a timely manner. And I think if we continue to go back and break the rules, if you do it for one, you need to do it for all. I've had several people to contact me since this budget year is in the place and asking me for them. I said, no, we had a process. It was well publicized. We sent information out. And if we don't start disciplining ourselves, making sure that our citizens and the person that come to us requesting goods, services, and funding adhere to our policies, we will always be helter-skelter. And I'm a firm believer as we become more experienced, we should become a little more professional. And let's stop going back. Let's put something in place and let's adhere to it, unless it's some sort of dire emergency. Because if you do it for one, you do it for all. We're getting ready to go into the budget for 2012. I asked everyone to clear up their committee assignments so we can focus primarily on the budget and do that in a structured and organized manner. But what happens if somebody that I know comes in and wants an appropriation for an NGO? Well, I figure if we do this, we have a right to entertain that too. And we will continuously be helter-skelter and back and forth. And secondly, I'm a firm believer in my word. Understand that we're supposed to be defunding an organization and giving to another organization. That organization that we're defunding met the criteria of what we requested of them in the proper time frame. And that's been appropriated. And I will not go back on my word to those individuals or defund them unless there is some kind of criminal activity or some kind of legal ramification that come before us that's well documented that will make me take those funds back and give them to someone else. I spoke with Ms. Frazier upon yesterday. She stated that the individuals that they're contemplating removing those funds from had a little issue, but they had met the criteria and they were well within their means to receive those funds that they had requested in an ample time, in an ample manner, during the budget deliberation in 2010 for 2011. So I would hope that you would support me in this motion so we can send a clear signal that in 2011 we are going to adhere to our policies. You are informed well enough in advance what the criteria is for this body to seek those funds. And we expect you to adhere to them, get your paperwork in a timely manner, and we can move forward. Thank you. Mr. Thibodeau?
I agree with most of what you said, but I also believe that there are some organizations we have given money to year after year after year after year after year with certain expectations, and because we as a commission have not come up with a way to hold them accountable, they just continue to get the money with no apparent results. And I would hope that in the coming years, when we decide on NGOs, that we come up with a better way to make them accountable and not just give it every year just because we gave it the year before. In this instance, it probably should have gone through the regular system. Somehow or another it's made it to this point. What they're asking to do is something that, in my opinion, two other organizations that we had said we would fund should be doing over the years, and they haven't done it. And so I believe that if we give you money and you don't give us results, then let's give it to somebody that will, or let's give it to someone else, give them a chance. And that's why I made the amendment to defund these two organizations here and give it to a third one. Because then, in my opinion, they were not doing what we expected them to do. And to me, that's as bad to continue to fund organizations that don't do what they said they're going to do. To me, is something that we need to put a halt to and do it quickly. And I hope this year when we look at NGOs that we really do some soul searching on those that we give money to, especially those we've been giving money to for a long time, to really take a strong, hard look at them. And this is just Mike Thibodeau speaking. Some of these organizations have gotten the monies, and as far as I'm concerned, it's just nothing but vote buying. Because, it's just trying to satisfy somebody in somebody's district. And that's not the right reason to give the money. So we probably need to make some changes, but I hope that we at least give this organization an opportunity to do something that the other two have not done.
One point of information, my vote for NGOs is not vote buying. I want that to be made perfectly clear. Ms. Baker?
Mine too, my vote's for NGOs, not vote buying, but it was to my, and I don't have a problem with supporting a CPCRS20110519 project, but it was to my understanding that I thought we had discussed not taking the money away from the other NGOs to fund this project. I thought we had decided not to do that. I didn't know that it was still in force for us to take the money from another NGO to give to this project, because unlike Commissioner Epperson, is that once, we give our word to these organizations that we're going to fund them, I like for us to keep our word, and also to continue what Commissioner Thibodeau was saying is, and I've been screaming this since I've been here, is that, we need to be more stringent on our NGOs and stick to what we say we're going to do. We put our rules and regulations out. If they have to get their information in at a certain time, yes, we need to do that. And also we need to be more, monitor them more when we give them fundings. And I don't have a problem in us looking at some of the things they do. And I'm sure that a lot of these NGOs, the monies that they're getting funded for, they're doing the best that they can and as much as they can with the funding that they get. But as far as CC Antoine's project, taking the money from another NGO and giving it to them for their project, then I have to withdraw my second, because I really thought we had discussed this and changed this to actually getting the money from the Riverboat Fund just outright and giving it to the CC Antoine project. I didn't know we were going to still continue to take the money away from some other NGOs to fund this project, because that's just like going back on our word. We gave them a word that we were going to fund them, and then we just take it away from them. And I'm wondering, have they been notified that they're not going to get their funding that we had appropriated for them in the budget?
Commissioner, I'm not sure. I believe one of them has, I believe the Multicultural Tourism Commission was notified and is present here today. But I'm not sure if the Multicultural Center of the South has been notified.
And when we were notified them, what did we tell them? We just said we wasn't going to fund them, or did we give them an explanation why? Or
I was not here. It's my understanding, though, that the ordinance on the agenda was explained. And they were notified about this ordinance that was on the agenda.
Mr. President, I'd like to withdraw my second.
Okay, the second is withdrawn, so at this point, there is no second. Who made the main motion?
I did.
Okay, all right, the seconder withdrew her motion, so therefore we have another seconder. Moved by Mr. Cox, seconded by Mr. Escudé. At this time, we'll entertain, Mrs. Lynch is next.
Call for a question.
Question's been called for. There is vote to call for the question. Call for the question. The question has been called for. We'll vote on the motion.
Motion to what?
The motion is, read the motion, please, Mr. Clerk.
To amend the budget of estimated revenues and expenditures for the Riverboat Fund and Economic Development Fund in the amount of $30,000 for Get Up Incorporated for the CC Anton project.
What's that? 6-5. Okay. The ordinance had to pass by 7 votes, am I correct?
Majority present.
Majority present? Okay.
No, 7 votes on the order.
7. Yeah, the ordinance had to go by 7 votes, so that motion fails. Next order, please.
Next we have ordinances for introduction by title. Ordinance number 5102 of 2011, granting unto Southwestern Electric Power Company the right, privilege, and franchise to acquire, construct, erect, maintain, repair, construct, remove, and operate system of electric power lines, wires, transformers, communications, cables, and other related necessary desirable premises in, under, over, across, through, and along any of all present and future streets, avenues, alleys, thoroughfares, roads, highways, sidewalks, bridges, public grounds, and public places of Caddo Parish, State of Louisiana, for the purpose of transmitting and repair and restoration of the streets disturbed by construction, providing for the company's obligations to furnish efficient service, providing for indemnity by the company to the parish, providing for conditional forfeiture in the event of default by the company to the parish, provisions relative to this grant of franchise, providing for acceptance by company, providing a severability clause for the year 2011. Ordinance number 5103, granting unto Comcast Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas, LLC, the right, privilege, and franchise to provide cable services for the transmission and distribution of television signals, radio signals, and other lawful services to Caddo Parish. Ordinance number 5104 of 2011, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus, to authorize the parish administrator or designee to sell the parish's interest. Ordinance number 5105, to authorize the parish administrator.
Like to recognize Mr. Smith.
That ordinance needs to be pulled. Chesapeake decided not to purchase the property.
Okay, moved by Mr. Smith, seconded by Ms. Baker, that ordinance number 5105 of 2011 be pulled. Chesapeake decided not to go through with the requisition. Any discussion? Okay, let's vote. Once it come up, please.
I think it has to go ahead and be.
See, it's already.
Oh, that's an introduction.
It's an introduction.
That's correct. That's correct. That's right. Okay, we'll catch
Because it came from the work session.
Right.
To today.
We'll catch it next time. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Craig.
Okay. Ordinance number 5105 of 2011, to authorize the parish administrator or designee to sell a 16-acre tract of land in Caddo Parish, Louisiana for the year 2011. Next, we need to ratify our work session minutes.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Dominic, seconded by Mrs. Lynch. Any comments? Okay, we'll vote when they come up, please. Okay, work session minutes ratified.
Next, we have resolution number 21 of 2011, approving the issuance of 1 million of certificates of indebtedness, series 2011, Caddo Parish Fire District number 1.
So moved. Moved by Mr. Johnson.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Bowman. Any discussion? Okay, we'll vote.
Resolution number 23 of 2001, in support of the President of the United States and the Caddo Parish's Port Commission, proclaiming May 22nd, 2011, National Maritime Day for the year 2011.
Thank you, Tar, for being old with me. You saying 2001. I got company.
You're wearing off on me.
Moved by Mr. Escobar, seconded by Ms. Bowman. Any discussion? All right, that passes.
Next, we have Resolution 24 of 2011, supporting the appointments of Caddo Parish Commissioners to subcommittees of the National Association of County Officials for the year 2011.
So moved.
Second. Okay. Could you read those off for the record? I want to let people know what those are committees that we are being, our persons are being nominated for with NACO. You got them?
I don't have. No, Tara.
I thought they was in the code.
Yes, they're in the
They
may be in here.
It's in the code. So get to it. In the resolution.
Oh, here they
All right, it says, whereas the Caddo Parish has long been a member of good standing.
If you would, just the name, that's right, just the name, please.
All right, it says the following commissioners and urge the NACO president to appoint to each of respective interest areas, Lindora Baker, the appointment to the vice chair of the subcommittee of community development of Committee of Economic Development. Lindora Baker, reappointment to the membership committee and reappointment as member of large urban county caucuses. Stephanie Lynch, reappointment as chair for programs and services committee, reappointment as member of large urban county caucuses. Appointment to the Green Government Advisory Committee, appointment to Vice Chair of Justice and Public Safety Committee.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, did we vote on that? No. Okay, let's vote on that resolution, please. All right. Old business?
No old business. We move to new business. We have the selection of 2 Louisiana Community Development Block Grant applications to forward to the state for possible funding.
Okay, we've had public hearing on this, so now we will vote. So what we're going to do is we're going to, we'll call them off individually, and we'll vote. And the one that receives I think we'll have 2 that will be offering. The 2 that receive the most votes will be the one that will be submitted.
Yes, sir, 2, and we suggested alternate as well.
Okay.
So actually 3.
All right. Okay. Okay, we'll vote.
Question.
Mr. Okay, what we got? I got everybody on the board now.
I took mine off.
Okay, clear the board for me, please. Okay. All right. So,
Push, you need to speak.
I had a question.
okay, question, Mr. Cox.
Well, let's get in our game mode here where we picked 2 and 1 an alternate. Okay, that 1 and an alternate is down in Baton Rouge, which I was at a table talking to 2 of our representatives down there about this particular one. I'm looking at this like, this is my opinion. This is in Jim Smith's area, but this is where I look at it. You got 2 up north, 1 down south, or where they basically, all 3 of the other 3 basically in the north part of the parish.
I don't know, I know the sewer district number 2 is up north, that is somewhat up north, but that's in Lindy Johnson's district.
Yeah.
The Belvidere is the one up north, and that's in up north. And the Belcher, Dixie Gillum, that's the one that Mr. Washington has been here several times.
Right.
That's the one that Jim Norris and Representative James Smith, together with Patrick Williams, are supporting, and there's a potential that this whole endeavor will be funded. But we need to ask and vote for it as an LCDBG project. If it is funded, then therefore the reason for a 3rd alternative.
And the
Four Forks is in Commissioner Smith's district, and the Lakeview is in Lyndon Johnson's district, somewhat up north, or basically north of Shreveport, I guess you could say.
Okay. So, Mr. President, what you're saying is we're going to go with district number 2, sewer district number 2 first?
Right. Then we'll go how we're going down the road.
But we need to vote, I'm sorry, can I ask a question?
Wait a minute. Finish, Mr. Cox.
Well, my question is, shouldn't we put the sewer district that's handled by the state right now, the Gill Water, shouldn't that just be set aside?
What do you mean?
And vote 1 and 2 on the other one, or the 3? See what I'm saying?
Go ahead, Mr. Dominique.
I guess the question, set aside, we got to vote on it from the LCDB.
Right.
Well, you're asking us to do 3. I had already done 1 in my second choice, but you're asking us to do 3.
I'm asking you to vote, we're asking for you to vote for 2 out of these 4, and then we're going to vote for an alternative. An alternative, a 3rd choice.
Okay.
The Belvidere is not necessarily going to get funded through this capital outlay. And that's the water treatment funds. If it does get funded, then you would have a 3rd alternative that could be funded through the LCDBG project.
That's why we need to do a third alternative.
Okay, I'm.
If it doesn't get funded through the capital, needs to get funded.
It falls back in, it falls back in as one of the two.
That's right.
Okay, so my comment, and I know everybody's gonna vote, I'd vote for one up north as far as,
Well, you can do that at the appropriate time. We ready? Where we at?
Mr. Smith, cut me off?
Have I talked yet? Am I?
You didn't. Yeah, I thought you was through.
I got one more question.
All right.
So we're gonna vote, wait a minute. I had the floor.
Okay, Ms. Goff got the floor. Go ahead.
So, and not to cut you off, because I'm gonna vote for
I thought
that.
you were through.
But my deal is, I was just gonna ask the panel to consider one up north, one down south. I'm through.
Okay. You've got your point of information in?
Yeah, I just have one more question. So we should vote twice, is that what you're saying? We need to vote two?
Yeah, go on, huh?
Out of the 4 times, we'll vote 2 and then come back and
We'll vote third.
do a third.
Right. Mr. Smith?
Well, if you guys feel like you got the money for your one up north, then you can make it the alternate.
It may be like the
Okay?
Okay. All right, where are we? Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir. I'm through.
You good? Okay. We have, Caddo Parish Sewer District Number 2, sewer rehabilitation grant for $800,000. Entertain a motion.
So move.
Moved by Mr. Johnson, seconded by Mr. Dominique. All in favor of Caddo Parish Sewer District Number 2?
Vote twice, right?
Please vote.
But you're voting twice, right?
price for this one.
Oh, just one on this, yeah.
But out of the 4, I'm gonna vote twice.
Yeah,
You don't want it, don't vote for it right now.
right, yeah. If you for it, vote yes. If you're not, don't vote. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 6, that's 7. Okay, that passes. The next, 4,
My vote didn't show.
pardon, you didn't vote?
I'll vote then, so. That's 8.
Okay, so it's 8? Okay, all right, Ms. Summers, you're registered, Ms. Bowman?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Full Forks Water System Inc., potable water, $255,000. Motion and second, please, get on the floor.
Move to approve.
Moved by Mr. Smith,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Cox. If you're in favor of it, vote yes. If you're not, don't vote. I received 3 votes. Next will be Lakeview Water District, potable water grant, $256,000. Motion and second, get on the floor. Motion? You move?
No.
Oh,
Take it off.
oh, okay, so nothing on that. So that dies for a lack of second.
Lack of motion.
Oh, okay, for lack of motion, I'm sorry. Water distribution near Borough Gear, water, potable water, $655,000. Moved by Mr. Dominique.
Second.
Seconded by
Lynch.
Ms. Lynch. Before it, vote. Okay, that passes. Okay.
Can I move the 4 Forks water system be the alternative? I guess we need to vote
If we
on
can
that.
get a, right, if we can get a, moved by Mr. Dominique, seconded by Ms. Baker, that Full Forks water system be the alternative.
Well, we got 3 votes for
Okay.
one vote. You gotta have 7 votes.
I think you better go ahead and do it.
Come on, you ready? All in, okay, if you're for it, vote yes, it's alternate. Okay, that's alternate. At this time, I would like to, take the liberty of, and make a motion that, this body would prepare a resolution in strong opposition. We already got it, to the, issues with the Veteran Cemetery and the Veteran Service Organization. Might get a second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all in favor of the resolution, please vote yes.
Y'all have to
Agenda
expand the
Okay, what I'm saying is, this is already, I thought, lobbying is just automatic, we get a report each week, so why should we have to add that to the agenda? I'm just making.
It's a resolution.
Okay.
They didn't have public notice of
I'd
it.
like permission to add that this body would submit a resolution to our state legislative delegates in oppositions to funding cut by the Department of Veterans Affairs relative to veteran cemeteries and veteran service organizations.
I second Mr. Efferson's motion to enlarge the agenda.
Enlarge the agenda. All right, the agenda has been enlarged.
Okay.
Everybody voted for it, so I can go? That's good, they enlarge the agenda? All right, okay, I'd like to offer resolution number 20 of 2011, urging the Louisiana Legislature and Governor Bobby Jindal to provide full funding to support the veteran cemetery.
Resolution
That's
25.
resolution 25.
It says 20. 25.
If you have, Mr. Cox has the original, it's 25.
All right, resolution number 25.
Second.
Second. Okay, all in favor?
Yeah. Johnny, do you want to speak on something?
Before we leave, I have an announcement.
Okay. All right, the resolution. Any other? It passes. Any other to be brought before this body? We have, it's cleared out. You got to vote. Okay, we have Mr. Escobar, Mr. Cox, anyone else? Okay.
I'd like to remind everybody about the meeting at LSUS at 6:30 concerning 3132. Make your voices heard. Remember that the nation of sheep breeds wolves for government. So, show up.
Equally, President, if you wouldn't mind.
Tell her what I said today.
I'm going to.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes, sir. Mr. President, if you would, I would like to send this to every delegation member down in Baton Rouge, along to the governor and the Department of Veterans Affairs in Baton Rouge.
Okay, so noted. And, could we find out, say, when there's a vote coming up, and, maybe we can have someone present? I don't know if we can speak, but maybe we could personally, I know it's out of committee now, am I correct? Out of both the House and the Senate?
I know it came out of the House.
Okay, could you find that out? And maybe someone would like to, and, we will be emailing all the veterans, the American Legion, the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and alerting them to it also. Okay? No other business to come before this body, motion to adjourn?
That's what I'm
Words in there.